Welcome to Tech Talk with Michelle and Christa. This is a special edition of Tech Talk where we're going to share some tips and tricks of Google Meet.
Our first tip is a nice extension if you want to take attendance in Google Meet. So I'm going to share my screen. So the extension is called Google Meet Attendance. When you go into the Chrome Web Store, there are several. But if you scroll down and find the one that has the three little people, that's the one you want to add. So you would click it and hit Add to Chrome. Once you add the extension, here's how easy it is. If I right-click anywhere in my Google Meet, the Save Attendance option is there. So I click it. It downloads a quick CSV. And if I open that up, it shows who joined, when they left, when they joined again, so you can even keep track of the time that your students have entered the meet and also left, or if they've rejoined, and just a list of who's been in your Google Meet.
Google Meet is also rolling out its own attendance reports, and you'll be seeing those soon. However, those only work if you have at least 5 people in your meeting, but the nice piece is they'll be auto-generated and sent directly to your email. The next tip we have is creating and monitoring breakout rooms in Google Meet. The first thing you're going to want to do is go to your email and use the new meeting link to create 4 meeting rooms. Next, you're going to want to go to bit.ly/roomslide and grab a copy of the template. Once you're here, you can click on Make a Copy. You're going to want to go ahead and replace this with your own Bitmoji or whatever picture you want to use here. And if you don't want to use the slide that's translated, you can simply delete that one. Next, you're going to want to change the name Mrs. Park to your name. Next, I need to link each of the doors to the 4 Google Meet rooms that I've created. To do that, I'm going to go into one of the meets. I'm going to come down here to Meeting Details, and I'm going to highlight the meet code and copy it. Then I'm going to go back to my breakout room, and I'm going to insert a shape over the door. I'm going to remove the fill and remove the line, and then I'm going to hyperlink it to that first meeting room. You'll do this process for the other 3 rooms. Now I'll click on File, Publish to the Web. I'm going to change this default to every minute, and then I'm going to click Publish. Select OK. And then this URL, I'm going to copy and paste into Google Classroom so that students can access. During independent work time, students could go into Google Classroom and click on the link, and this is what they would see. They would then choose which room they wanted to enter based upon their learning style and needs. As a teacher, I'm going to open up each of these rooms. I'll also go ahead and turn off the camera and microphone in each room. Next, I'm going to click on the Tab Resize extension. I need a layout that will let me look at 4 tabs at one time. Since I'm not seeing that here, I'm going to manually create that. I need a layout that is 2 by 2, giving me 4 individual squares. I'll select that layout. Now, if I need to talk to all groups at one time, I can turn on the microphone. For the next 15 minutes, we will have work time. Make sure you're checking Google Classroom for the agenda and what you need to get done. Similarly, if I need to talk to this group, I can simply unmute and talk to this group and not disturb the other 3 groups working. Finally, another handy extension is the Mute Tab extension. What this will do is filter out noise coming from a particular tab. So I know if a group of students are working well, I can simply mute this tab, and any noise that they might be making, I won't be able to hear over the other tabs. When you're all finished and want to put your tabs back together, you will click on the Tab Glue extension and it will put all of your tabs back together. A special shout out to Esther Park, who shared this awesome tip.
And our third new feature in Google Meet is it's a new layout feature so that you can change the amount of tiles and or students that you can see at one time. So if you go to the triple dots here and go to change layout, I'm on sidebar now. But if I went to tiled, then I can change this from 9 to 16 to 30 to 6 or whatever. And it does say that it does depend on your window size. But you can now add or automatically change how many students or tiles you see at once.
The fourth tip we have to show you is using translation in conjunction with Google Meet. Students could either do this or teachers could do this. How it works is if you go down towards the bottom of your Google Meet and choose Turn on Captions, as I talk, you can see that it's typing in English. I could use this to give some EL students directions or to communicate with parents at home whose native language is not English. To turn on the translation feature, I'm going to right mouse click anywhere on the screen, select Translate to English, come up here to the triple dots and click, select Choose Another Language, then select the language I want to use, select Translate, and now you can see that as I'm talking, it is translating in Spanish. If you want to turn off translation, you can come up here into the Omni box and click, and then I can change language again, and change it back to English. You could take this one step further, and before you start talking, you could come down here to the triple dots, select record your meeting, select accept, and now as you're talking, anything that is being typed down here is also being recorded. You could record a message in a student or parent's native language and post it to Google Classroom for them to review.
And our fifth and final Google Meet tip is host controls. You're going to see this feature roll out to everyone soon. If you do have it right now, if you notice on my screen, I have the little shield at the bottom. If I click that, the host controls come up quickly. And if you notice the quick access, if you see, I can turn that off real quickly so that it's now like a waiting room and I have to accept people into the meeting. You can also turn off the ability for students or members to share their screen or send chat messages. So that's host controls. You can also find host controls here, but you don't get the ability with the quick access to turn on the waiting room.
And that wraps up our special edition of Tech Talk with Michelle and Christa. Hope you're having a great week, and stay geeky, everyone.